The mark may change, anything may happen, but we will follow our own order here.
Please, Lord.
When your turn comes, you can point out everything, not like this.
Lord, may it please your lordships. Lord, at the outset, I just need 15 minutes, my lord, and they may not respond to my every point I raise or every sentence. Just 15 minutes so that I first sum up and, my lord, then
Before my friend proceed, allow me to intervene for 10 minutes. That will have a different course of direction.
Don't intervene right now. Let him argue.
All right, please.
May it please your lordship. Lord, I was saying just 15 minutes, the Union of India may not respond sentence-wise, point-wise. Just give me 15 minutes so that I first wrap it up quickly, my lord. Now, my lord, in deference to my lord's direction, they have published the result. In the order, my lord said that the roll number may be edited, may be concealed, masked. Rest entire data should be given. They have not given all India rank of all the students. My lord, all India rank would not have disclosed identity, one. Two, they have not given the seriatim because, my lord, of the examination center. We would have been able to find out from one room how many plus 700, how many.
They've given center-wise and
They have given
city-wise.
center-wise, city-wise. They have not given, because that was a seriatim is missing. I'm not making fuss on it. I'm just bringing it to my lord's kind notice. That they have withheld all India rank and they have withheld serial number of the examination center. They have given 5,000 PDFs in the name of data declaring result. Anyhow, my lord, we have tried to analyze it. What I find, my lord, and my lord, the last point, my lord, when I demonstrated before this honorable court that the question paper was being ferried in an e-rickshaw, there was an objection taken that it was only OMR and not the question paper. This was the response. I verified it, my lord. There is a testing booklet which each student get in the examination hall.
Question paper was buried in an e-rickshaw, no doubt about it. That photograph,
Yes.
according to them, is not of the question paper, but of the OMR sheet. But the fact that the question paper was ferried in the e-rickshaw is also now is an established fact. No difference.
My lord, because
At one center.
Correct.
But the photograph which was claimed to be a photograph of the test
That's right.
paper is not of the test paper, but the OMR. That's a little nuance, that's all.
My lord, the only thing I want to point out, this e-rickshaw, because as per the news item, and there is an arrest of the principal of this Oasis school, the investigation.
Buddha, let's not go into this.
That's right. I'm not going into. I'm just tying up.
We will deal with when we look at what steps should be taken for the future.
Correct.
Let's now concentrate on the heart of the matter.
Perfect.
We have given you an opportunity to.
I'm so grateful, my lord, and we have been able to.
What emerges from the center-wise
Correct.
and the
That's
city-wise data.
Yes, Lord. I'm straight away coming to that.
Yes.
Lord, basically, I have basically now threefold submissions.
Have you prepared a note or something which will?
Lord, we have submitted a second supplementary note.
That's on the basis of the data, right?
That's on the basis of data and my subsequent points.
All right, let's just.
But,
go
my lord,
to-
allow me, my lord, without referring to that note, my lord, allow me to sum it up first. Basically in two parts. One is the leak part, and the other is the dominant argument, my lord, even more dominant than the leak part, which they say is a breach, is that their manner of conducting the entire examination is so brittle that it does not inspire confidence at all. At every stage, there is a breach and there is a possibility of breach. That is the second limb of my argument. But summing up on my first limb, that it is a case of a paper leak. I just say, my lord, they admit paper leak. They admit the dissemination happened on WhatsApp. I'm just going by their admission. Now the Bihar police material collected report is before this honorable court. I'm sure 161 statement which we have placed on record are the same, which indicate Bihar police's case, because any police recording 161 statement and indicating that the paper was sold and the students were made to learn those answers was 4th of May, not 5th of May. So this is what the Bihar police investigation, which I'm banking upon to say that leak is not happening on 5th of May morning as is being suggested. But the leak is happening prior to the deposit of question papers with the respective banks.
Yes.
So, but my submission is leak is prior to going the question paper before to the bank, that is third or prior to third. And their suggestion that it happened on fifth morning is hard to believe and contrary to the investigation report of Bihar police. And lastly, this is the handiwork of a gang which has been indulging into paper leak even previously. This Sanjeev Mukhia and the other gangs which have not even been arrested despite all this thing. So it is not some peon went into the question paper room and sneaked one paper out or had a click and it was a locally done for 4, 5, 10 students. No, handiwork of a gang. My lord, specific order to the Bihar police was placed before us, all material collected, meaning thereby all statements, all recovery of documents, case diary, and then the report.
referring to the 161 statement which was recorded by the Bihar police.
Correct.
Can you just give us whose statement so that we will track it? We have the record here. So
Yes, yes, my lord. I will very quickly do this, my lord. This was 161 statement we had filed.
First note material.
In the first note, my lord. Yes, I will. Yes, my lord. My lord, first statement is Anurag Yadav.
113 of the Bihar compilation.
It says 4th of May. And then Nitesh Kumar.
statement is that?
Anurag Yadav, my lord.
Anurag Yadav.
Yes, ma'am. This is the first statement, Anurag Yadav, son of Sanjeev Kumar. Which are a shining star in the entire sky. Belgavi, Lord, why a girl who failed in Gujarat goes all the way to Belgavi? Lord, the reason is this, not only paper leak. Lord, I'm on a next point.
Now tell us that girl who went to Belgavi, all right, we'll take it as a prima facie suspicious case.
Yes, sir.
The center where she appeared from,
Yes.
what is the performance of that center?
Yes, my lord, I have that.
6%
Huh?
success ratio and 7% success ratio. And Belgaum,
Lord,
2% success
Lord,
rate.
about
I
8
showed those
people
figures.
are, Lord, Belgavi is not a coaching center. Lord, the one reason,
not a
Lord,
coaching
the third thing I want to allude to,
Centers in Sikar? How many centers in Sikar?
Seeker is 49 centers.
How many students in Sikar?
Yes, the total number of, yes, Lord, we have the data. Huh? 27,000. Lord, this is, just allow me, Lord. Total number is 27,216.
Students.
That's right, Lord. 49 centers. Lord, it is at page 10.
27,216 students from Sikar.
That's right.
How many students, what is the cutoff to be in the first 1,08,000?
About
If
580.
your lordships can give me only 5 minutes to show my charts, Lord, that
Lord,
might answer most of your lordship's
Lord,
questions.
I'm
Rather than
I'm-
going all around.
I'm on a complete, Lord, just allow me to
All
complete.
right, 27,216 students. Just tell us. just tell
8,000
us
of them
what-
have got above 500.
How many?
8,225 have got above 500.
Yes, Lord, this is the
None of
data
them
at
will
page
get
103. Lord, this note, this data is there at page 103. Lord, may kindly just see this.
Now tell us, Mr. Solicitor, what would be the cutoff for broadly for the 1,08,000, the last student to be in the zone of admission to a medical college?
Yes.
What would be the cutoff?
Varies from state to state.
Cutoff is not different.
Varies from state to state. But
No, no.
if you've got above around 600, you're reasonably safe that you will get
No,
something.
my lord, my learned friend is,
It will vary from state to state because state domicile comes in.
I'll just, my lord, I have put that figure also. If you are having marked 600, you will stand at 81,000 in first 81,000. I have given, my lord, each wise 60, 600, 605, etc., etc. I'll show, my lord. So a person getting 600 will, in all probability, will not get in at least government medical college, for the simple reason that though we are counting 50%, total seats are 1,08,000. 50% would be, my lord, one half. But from that 50%, 50% will go for SC, ST, OBC and EWS reservation. So merit candidates seats would be available would be 25,000. I have, my lord, given, my lord, we have done the analysis from various angles to show what is the impact, if at all, at the national level, city level and the center level.
Lord,
Does Sikar have the largest concentration of students? Sikar has 49 centers.
Yes. Seeker center-wise also we have done.
And
Lord,
is-
quota, let me compare it with quota.
District in the country which has more centers than Sikar, which is in countrywide.
I'll not do that.
Can you tell us which is the district which has the largest number of centers?
Lord, quota, Lord, I'm just giving quota as
But,
comparing,
my lord,
because
what
Lord,
we have
quota is
analyzed
the
is,
coaching hub.
only a minute. What we have analyzed is city-wise, including seeker, quota, and other, my lord, things which are, my lord, being discussed. We have examined how many students appeared in 2022 and what was the success rate. Similar exercise for 23 and similar exercise for 24. In fact, 24 for seeker, the success rate has gone down. I'll be able to show that, my lord. We have compared it with
Lord,
22, 23, 24. It
Lord,
is
I'm not-
around 19%.
Lord, if they can
The success
respond
rate is
in one go
19%.
and I
Yeah.
complete it. Lord, what I'm alluding to is there is a systemic failure in the manner the NEET is examined. One, I said the no address verification, that is why student can go from,
Yeah. There are two ways of looking at this problem. You all came here because of paper leak. There's no escape from the fact that, yes, there has been a
paper leak.
paper leak. Is it your argument that this systemic failure which you are talking about now led to paper leak?
No.
So therefore, today we are trying to understand, we are trying to look into to what extent this leak precipitated in the entire country. If it is a case of systemic failure, that stands on a different footing
Yes.
because These are two different things. It is because of this paper leak, you are now able to demonstrate before us various irregularities, illegalities. Maybe, you may be right. But at this point of time, digressing from the issue of paper leak, to what extent can we now go into the question of systemic failure? Because we are trying to examine whether this leak led to that girl securing 705 marks at Belaguri despite failing in 12th standard. Let us address the issue in this manner, whether these candidates at Sikar who have performed exceedingly well, is it because of that paper leak?
I bow down.
There are
I quite
two
understand.
compartments.
These are two compartments.
There are two
So far as
compartments.
paper
One
leak is
talks
concerned.
about paper leak and to what extent the students took advantage of that leak.
Let me answer your lordship's question.
Please take your seat, Mr. Nedumbara. These are bad manners, bad manners. I am not very sophisticated like my Lord the Chief Justice. You may feel bad. Please, please. 3 times I have said, please, quiet. We have 2 minutes to go. We are making Mr. Huda understand what is going on in our mind so that he can respond after recess. Therefore, you come to your note.
Please.
You come to your note, paragraph 8.
Yes, my lord. They know,
That's the heart. That's the heart of your case.
Where you say that
Just
there's a
read
leak
Just
has gone to other states. Where is there to, what is there any contemporary evidence to indicate that the leak went to
Lord,
other states?
Lord, the only thing on that I can say on paper leak is, Lord, so far as direct evidence of this crime is concerned, that is the file is before this honorable court, matter is being investigated. As petitioners who are not privy to the investigation, either by the Bihar police or now by the CBI, all we can rely on is a circumstantial evidence. In the circumstantial evidence,
Therefore, falling back on an alternative hypothesis that because of the systemic flaws in the process, therefore the credibility of the examination must have been breached in other
I'm
states.
so grateful.
That's your case.
That's
your
my
case.
case. On that,
So
Lord, I have
therefore
just
saying
4 or
that
5
we have
things to
no
highlight.
evidence, we do not have evidence to show that there was a leak in other states. But because of these flaws in the examination process, therefore it's likely that the
This
sanctity of the
inflation.
examination, and you have pointed out 3 aspects: time gap between the conclusion of the examination and the sealing of the OMR sheets, and absence of an SOP. 2, staff at the college may well tamper with the OMR sheets without depositing them. 3, there is no address verification of the center chosen by the student.
That's
These
right.
are the 3 aspects.
That's right. Now, Lord,
Anything else now? What remains? For you?
because of
We'll have to call upon the others now.
yes, I'm so grateful. And Lord, it is because of this that there is an evidence, and they maybe put to the question this, that how people from Gujarat going to Bellary, how people from Odisha, Karnataka, Maharashtra coming to Godhra, and how people from Bihar, if this investigation is carried out, my lord, would find people from Bihar have gone to Muktsar, Punjab. If these addresses are checked, that will show
But
that
then
there are.
this girl, instead of going to Belaguri, could have given to any of these sensitive.
She could have chosen, Lord, probably this is a connection. She got a connection.
Why did she have to
I
go
asked
to
you, that
Belaguri?
center at Belgavi, does it have any, does it show any untoward result?
Lord, it is there. Lord, this Belgavi, this is 8R plus 700 and 71R plus 650. I have not the chart. I will give it up post lunch.
Also, Mr. Huda, in many professional examinations, I don't want to name them, otherwise this will become another national story tomorrow. That, in many professional examinations, students do choose centers in a particular zone or whatever, because there's a perception that the marking on the curve is a little more lenient or a little more strict in certain centers. And you not mention those examinations. That may be,
Lord,
that may not
here-
be, that may
Lord,
not be
here the-
strong evidence to cancel the whole examination per se.
Lord, this one.
These systemic flaws which you have pointed out, we'll put to the solicitor, because these obviously have to be tightened up. Because they have to be tightened up. But as of now, I don't think you have indicated to us, and we'll give you now 5 minutes and we'll conclude your argument after lunch. So we'll hear the others and then wrap up.
5 minutes after lunch.
After lunch, 5 minutes.
Great.
So that you can conclude. Now summarize what you
That's
have
fine.
argued in 5 minutes, and then we will go on to the
Great.
next person.
Your lordships
Great.
will give me a little time. A little time, not much.
Sorry?
Your lordships will give me a little time, not much.
And they've also about marks and changing of the answers.
There are several things I
Anybody who now wants to follow will have to give something over and above what has been argued.
Please.
Oda has taken up
Please.
the entire
Please.
record now.
But after lunch, your lordship give me 10, 15 minutes, then I'll relieve me, my lord.
I
I wanted to say something which,
might even take it.
something which they haven't said.
We'll come back after.
Your lordships, may I please mention items 12 and 35?
Come back after.
context. Page 132 is Amit Anand.
Yes.
Amit Anand, my lord, is a middleman. Just to give the context so that your lordships can read the paper, my lord, read the statement in the context. But please see 133 at the bottom, some 10th line. उसे आप परीक्षा में पास करा दीजिए. Your lordship gets, my lord?
Yes.
He was collecting the students on the night of 4th so that he gets the papers on 5th, which is coming in Nitish Kumar's statement. Nitish Kumar was at the place where he received the paper in the morning and students were asked to memorize. 134 is Nitish.
Just see page 88, which
88,
is Amit Anand's first statement.
88, Manoj?
88.
Yes, Manoj.
And then see page 89, about the last 10, 15 lines, is beach. Got that? Isi beach. 89, about say 12 lines on the bottom.
Yes, Manoj.
Isi beach, last 3 words in that sentence, on that line. Isi beach, नीट का परीक्षा आ गया था. सिकंदर स्वयंसो बताया कि चारों लड़कों को कब बुलाएं.
Possibly, this is the FIR, not the statement.
Right. तो मैंने बताया
संक्षिप्त वर्तमान अपराध की विस्तृत
विवरण. Statement. This is Amit Anand's statement. Get para 80.
Amit Anand, yes, your lord.
तो मैंने बताया कि 4-5 के रात्रि में बुलाई है.
Yes,
जहाँ पर सिकंदर के द्वारा सभी चारों लड़कों को नीट परीक्षा का प्रश्न पत्र लीक करवाकर सभी बच्चों को उत्तर के साथ पढ़वाया एवं रटवाया जा रहा है.
रात्रि में बुलाइए, नहीं, रात्रि में बुलाइए, कॉल देम. इसी बीच नीट का परीक्षा आ गया था. सिकंदर यादवेंद्र द्वारा बताया गया कि चारों लड़का को कल बुलाए, तो मैंने बताया कि 4-5-24 की रात्रि में बुलाइए, जहां पर सिकंदर यादवेंद्र के द्वारा सभी चारों लड़कों को नीट परीक्षा का प्रश्न पत्र लीक करवाकर सभी बच्चों को उत्तर के साथ पढ़वाया एवं रटवाया जा रहा था.
This indicates that the students were being asked to memorize on the night of the 4th, which means that the leak had occurred prior to the 4th.
No, would your lordship?
And now just see page 92. Just see page 92.
Yes.
This is the statement of Nitish Kumar.
The Nitish Kumar's statement, my lord, at page 134 may kindly be seen.
So we just see page 92. This is the first statement.
Yes, my lord.
बीच में
Yes.
बातचीत के क्रम में
somewhere बातचीत, yes. सोएन सो बताया गया कि मेरे पास भी लड़का है जिसे आप परीक्षा में पास करा दीजिए, नीट की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, उसके बदले में तथा अमित आनंद बताएं कि 30 रुपया लगेगा. सिकंदर तैयार हो गया, बताया कि 4 लड़का हम आप देंगे. नीट परीक्षा से एक दिन पूर्व के संध्या में मैं, चिंटू एवं पिंटू, मतलब 2 एक्यूज, तथा आशुतोष मिलकर लर्नेड प्ले स्कूल में नीट की परीक्षा के लिए आए अभ्यर्थियों को नीट का प्रश्न उत्तर सहित रटवाने लगा. प्रश्न पत्र चिंटू के मोबाइल नंबर 100 पर आया था, जिसे अभ्यर्थियों को उत्तर सहित रटवाया दिया गया था, तथा परीक्षा समाप्ति के बाद काम हो जाने पर मैं 100 के लीक प्रश्न पत्र को के छत पर पानी टंकी के बगल में साक्ष्य मिटाने हेतु आग लगा दिया. इस परीक्षा में मेरे पास कुल 13 अभ्यर्थी थे, जिसे मैंने नीट का प्रश्न पत्र उत्तर सहित रटवाया था. नाउ प्लीज सी माय लॉर्ड 132, 134 नीतीश कुमार. अंदर गया था वो कौन सा Just your lordship, my lord, because your lordship will get the context. Thereafter, my lord, it was transferred to EOU. Kindly have a look at, my lord, page 132. Amit Anand's statement recorded by EOU. It's more elaborate and a little more in-depth. Your lordship gets, my lord, 132.
At the last word on page 131.
Yes.
दिनांक 4/5 को इनके साला व पत्नी रीना देवी तथा साला सो जिन्होंने गेस्ट हाउस में रुकवा दिया.
Yes. They all gathered at night, mother. That is true.
पूर्व निर्धारित योजना अनुसार दिनांक 4/5 को रात्रि में उक्त चारों अभ्यर्थियों को सगुना मोड़ खगोल रोड में अमित आनंद एवं नीतीश कुमार को नीट 2024 परीक्षा में आने वाले प्रश्नोत्तर रटवाने के लिए सौंप दिए थे.
They were handed over. You get
The
them memorized.
investigation is botched up by the stand being taken by Government of India, my lord. The matter is under
No, no,
investigation.
my lord.
The kind of stand being
Kindly
taken.
allow, don't take it government of India. I am answerable to these students. I am answerable to other students.
how?
And more, I am answerable to the court. Well, let us not do it like
That's
this.
all right. We are just analyzing these statements.
Yes, my lord, all of them were gathered.
Amit Anand seems to be suggesting that the leaked question papers were given to the students for memorization on the night of the 4th.
No, my lords.
That's
What
what it
happens
is.
is, what actually happened during the CBI investigation is, all students were gathered and put at a particular place so as to enable them to memorize as and when the paper is available, which comes, my lord, from the statement of Amit Anand. My lord, please read statement of Amit Anand. Your lordships are on page 132. I am just reading the bare facts. I am not, my lord, taking any stand. Page 132, Amit Anand, my lords. And thereafter, Nitish Kumar. And they are giving statements when they were not obviously aware that this would be scrutinized by the court. So this is a first-hand account. से पहले
गुजरात में देखा था.
Papers were purloined. After the papers were purloined and then
assistance may be incomplete. That's all I'm saying. Kindly report, sorry, second report, para 98. But before that, would your lordships accept my request of reading two more statements from
Two more statements.
EOU? In this context, please read the report.
Okay, just
It
only
would
one
be,
second.
my lord,
I'll give you.
incomplete picture in your lordship's mind.
Just keep that page to in 1 minute.
132.
Please, well, please.
Lord, para 97 onwards, in the second report, your lordships would find assistance, my lord, for this particular part.
Sir, Solicitor, we just look at now those two statements you were saying, telling us to look at.
132, my lords.
132.
That's, my lord, in the
is from-
Bihar police statement, the statement recorded by EOU.
This is from,
Initially, it was local
Sardar
police,
Prasad.
transferred to economic offences wing, where, my lord, it is a little more detailed, page 132 at the foot.
That is Amit Anand.
Amit Anand, yes, my lord, his statement. Kindly come to the next page, 133. I am, my lord, skipping what is not relevant either way for the present purpose, my lord. Kindly see from the 10th line, somewhere 10th line from the bottom. इस पर सिकंदर प्रसाद यादवेंद्र बोले, your lordship gets, my lord, some
हाँ. Yes.
कि उनके पास भी 4-5 लड़का है जो परीक्षा देने वाले हैं, उसे आप परीक्षा में पास करा दीजिए, इसके बदले में स्वयं वे बताए कि 4 लड़का हम आपको देंगे। ये नो काइंडली सी दिस, मतलब ये दिनांक 4/5/24 को रात्रि में सिकंदर प्रसाद यादवेंदु से उन 4 अभ्यर्थियों का सो से प्राप्त किए तथा अपने कार से चारों को लेकर नीतीश कुमार के पास न्यू बाईपास चले गए। प्लीज मार्क दिस। नीतीश कुमार अपने एवं उनके अन्य अभ्यर्थियों को लेकर लर्नेड बॉयज स्कूल एवं सो में लेकर चला गया, जहां पर सभी विद्यार्थियों को अगले दिन करीब 10 बजे नीट का प्रश्न उत्तर सहित रटवा दिया गया। 10 बजे। नाउ प्लीज सी, ये भी अपने परीक्षार्थी एवं अन्य परीक्षार्थी तथा सिकंदर प्रसाद के साथ परीक्षा केंद्रों पर घूम घूम कर सभी को सेंटर पर पहुंचा दिए और अपने फ्लैट पर पहुंच गए और खाना खाए एटसेट्रा। काइंडली सी द नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट ऑफ नीतीश कुमार. Nitish Kumar is the person who not only brings students, he was at that school, Learn Boys School. So your lordships can come to page 134, 7 lines from the bottom. उसके बाद दिनांक 4/5, your lordship gets. Page 134. I can read the whole, but it may not assist either way for this particular purpose of date, my lord. But does your lordship get the date? उसके बाद दिनांक 4/5 को रात्रि में अमित आनंद द्वारा सेटिंग किए गए 6 लड़के जो अमित ने मुझे नई बाईपास अपने कार से लाकर दे दिए थे, सिकंदर प्रसाद यादवेंद्र के 4 लड़के तथा अमित आनंद के 2 लड़के को लर्न बॉय हॉस्टल एवं लर्न बॉय स्कूल जो रामाकृष्ण नगर में है पर लेकर गया। वहां सभी लड़कों को चिंटू उर्फ बलदेव कुमार पिता सो गांव सो एवं सो को हैंडओवर कर दिए। इनसे इनकी बात वो सो के मोबाइल नंबर सो पर होती रही। यह हॉस्टल एवं स्कूल आशुतोष कुमार द्वारा किराए पर लिया हुआ है। आशुतोष कुमार इज द ओनर ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रीमाइसेस वेयर दिस हैपेंड, जिसने इनका संपर्क सो के माध्यम से इसी काम से लिए हुआ था ना। नाउ रीड दिस, जिसे चिंटू उर्फ सो ने एक दिन के लिए सेट किया था और आशुतोष कुमार से मोटे रकम में हिस्सेदारी की बात की थी, दिनांक 5/5 को चिंटू के मोबाइल के व्हाट्सएप पर
Statements 88 and 132 are at variance.
at variance.
88, he says that the leak had taken place on the night of the 4th, when the question paper was given to these candidates for memorization. 132, he says that it was received on the mobile of Chintu in the morning on the 5th, and then was given for to the students. Ratta lagane ke liye diya tha. So Amit Anand's two statements are a little at variance.
Amit Anand's first
And
statement.
Nitish is also at variance, but Nitish's first statement is also 4th night. Like,
But my lord,
all
yes,
first statements seem to indicate that the leak takes place on the night of the 4th.
but I must tell your lordships, my lord, on the
The question is, how was this confined to Learned Boys High School? Was it confined to Hazari Bagh?
I'll answer that, my lord, when my turn comes.
That's what I'm worrying about.
But my lord, kindly appreciate this.
So, Solicitor, because the line which we are following of inquiry is, if the leak has taken place on the night of the 4th, then obviously the leak has not taken, it wouldn't take place from the strong room of SBI or Canara Bank. Nobody can access the strong room. Then obviously the leak took place not in the process of the papers being transferred to the examination center, but it takes place at a prior point of time, prior to the storage in the vault.
Which we have examined and found to be every thing to be intact, I'll be able to show. But please see, my lord, statement of Chintu at
Also,
page
we find that
236.
two of the problem solvers are at least 7. All problem solvers are students. None of them is a professor. Nobody is of that level of an expert. They're all students.
I was told that for this work, professors, the students are better qualified because they have recently prepared everything. They have the computer
We are
with them.
from-
They have books with them.
They
And
are from Ames Patna. One is from Ranchi, and 2 are brought from Rajasthan.
yes. Now, what is
Why
done
are they
is
brought from Rajasthan?
that is, my lord, under investigation, my lord, because maybe there is some personal linkage or something. But what they did was they bifurcated the papers, so each got 25 to 30 questions each, and they had 1 hour. 25 to 30 questions with a reasonable knowledge and with help of computer and books, you can always solve.
Now, what we do, Mr.
And we have also, my lord, kindly bear one factor in mind. We have done an exercise after the last hearing as to what is the success rate in this particular center, this particular city, and overall state. And we compared it with 22 and 23. There is no abnormality. Even in this, which I'll be able to show. And my lord, kindly 236, my lord, page,
Buddha, you can now show us the
my lord, page
data.
236, the last.
Yeah, then we have completed.
My lord, 236.
This is Chintu's.
Yes, Chintu Baldev Kumar, my lord, at the last, my lord, para. Dinank 5/5.
Is there an earlier statement of Chintu also?
Chintu, no. No, he was arrested only on that day by the EOI. He was not arrested by the, my lord, local police. So there is only one statement. We must be having our statement. We have our statement recorded after
So Mehta, come to page 229.
229 minutes.
Of Chintu.
This is also a statement of Chintu.
The same statement minutes.
Is it in continuation?
Is it?
This,
Yeah, but it's the same statement. I don't know why they have repeated.
it
But-
ends at 232.
Yes, my lord. And if your lordship sees, my lord, page 231,
Read the second paragraph.
No, 231, my lords?
Yes.
Yes. My lord, the same is I was showing at 236. So it appears to be a repetition. But I'll read, my lord, from 231, my lord, as your lordships have seen. दिनांक 5/5/24 को 9 बजे प्रातः तक करीब 24-25 नीट यूजी 2000 परीक्षा देने वाले अभ्यर्थी वहां पर जमा हो गए थे। मैं पीने वाला पानी का बोतल भी वहां गाड़ी से पहुंचाया था। दिन के करीब 10 बजे रॉकी ने मेरे पास मौजूद नए मोबाइल पर सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र भेजा। मामा संजीव एवं रॉकी के गिरोह के एक लड़के ने मुझे वाईफाई प्रिंटर दिया था, जिसे नीतीश कुमार द्वारा लर्न प्ले स्कूल छपरा के रूम में सेट किया गया था। सो द्वारा भी एक वाईफाई प्रिंटर दिया गया था। सबसे पहले सो का सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र मिला, जिसे हमें लोगों ने मोबाइल को वाईफाई प्रिंटर से कनेक्ट कर सॉल्व कर दिया। As and when they started solving the papers, they started giving. It was not given in one go. First was biology. कनेक्ट कर सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र का प्रिंट निकाला और उपस्थित सभी अभ्यर्थी को सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र का प्रिंट रटने के लिए दिया गया। इसके बाद फिजिक्स और केमिस्ट्री का सॉल्व किया हुआ प्रश्न पत्र एक साथ मिला। Very good.
You can show us the data which you have now. What do you have to say on the basis of the data?
Yes,
Then
but
let's see.
before-
all India data or whatever way.
I-
We have all India
but-
data.
I will show.
So we'll hear them on the response on the data.
Yes,
So
sir. My lord, allow me first, my lord, just give their.
Lord, only 236, my lord,
procedure.
Justice Pardiwala's, my lord. 236, which I was reading, is the same which your lordships,
the identical state.
they're identical. My lord, I do not know why they are two similar statements.
Please read Anurag Yadav. He's the only student. All the other people are members of the gang. Anurag Yadav's first statement.
We've read Anurag. We've read Anurag Yadav's.
Yes, sir.
Might read 131.
We have got that at page 131.
Lord,
Anurag Yadav says, I got it on the night of the 4th.
that's-
Yes.
that's-
But now, anyway, we still have to see whether it's localized, assuming for a moment,
We'll
that the theory that the paper was distributed, that the solved question papers were made available at about 10:15. And between 9:20 and 10:15, these 7 chaps solved all the questions and gave to the source. Assume that we for a moment, we may not entirely accept that. We have to hear the other side. Even so, is the leak systemic or is it only confined to Hazaribagh and Patna? That you'll have to establish something on the basis of data.
Yes, Lord.
Show us now what the data tells you.
Lord, before I come to data,
Up to now, we are only focused on Hazaribagh and Patna, right? Whether the leak takes place on the morning of the 5th, as CBI is telling us, whether it took place on the night of the 4th, and therefore the leak took place before lodging in the vault. How widespread is it? We don't have any other material apart from this that you have shown us to indicate that the leak was so widespread that it had gone all over the country. Now show us the data which will
yes, Lord, allow
support
me,
your
Lord,
case.
just 4 or 5 minutes before I come to the data. Lord, because between the last date and today, we have got a lot of information that how actually this exam is being conducted by this NTA. Lord, very briefly, Lord, because
Assuming that the examination should be conducted in a much better way.
I'm not on that, Lord.
That
I
we will see what they are doing
Lord,
for the
I will
future.
show why a particular data is as such. Just give me 2-3 minutes, Lord, before that. Lord, NDA, Lord, on the first date, this Honorable Court put it to them. Give us the complete chart that where the printing happened, how much time printing, how much time it reached the center, then where deposited, what time it was taken out, taken to the center, How much time is the examination?
As we see, find out now, printing takes place, the CBI third report tells us where printing takes place.
At two places, my lord, different states, and they are never declared or tendered.
We don't want to mention that because, I
Yes.
mean, because obviously that will,
We don't also tender, because otherwise the highest tenderer becomes open.
My lord,
That he is the printer, my lord, whoever is the highest tenderer becomes the printer.
from CBI's third report, we find out the name of one place where the printing press was situated, where it says 28 28th April, it had left that printing.
Lord, if your lordships, I'll take your lordship through the journey of the papers from, my lord, the printing press till the school, and what are the checks and balances on real-time basis, that there is some tampering, it would be noticed somewhere. That I'll be able to show.
Let me, my lord, very briefly capture that. 24th of April, they say that the dispatch happens to different centers. So far as Hazaribagh is concerned, 28th of April. Everywhere, the question paper was to reach the respective banks on 3rd of May. And 5th of May is the examination. So the question paper remained in private hands for fairly long time. From 24th of April till 3rd of May. I leave it there, my lord. They say that from everywhere, the center in charge will go to the bank in the morning. Lord, I'm showing the mechanism and how brittle and fragile the mechanism is, that the entire mechanism which they have followed.
Wait, just give us the facts.
Yes.
Give us the-
Now, in the morning, they say 8:15, the center in charge of the examination will reach the bank to collect the paper. What has actually happened, which is the documents on record, taking example of Dyal School, Bahadurgarh, Jhajjar, Hardayal School, Bahadurgarh, Jhajjar, the principal of the center goes to both the banks, collect papers from both the banks, distributes the paper taken from Canara Bank. Paper taken from Canara Bank is allowed to be attempted for all 3 hours and 20 minutes. And then they say that we over and above, because on 4th of April, they did not declare any other key except the key for SBI bank question paper. When it appeared that from this Hardayal School, Jhajjar, there are 6 candidates who get number 1, 100% marks, 720 out of 720. 2 candidates get 719 and 718. So it came out that how come from this center 8 people comes within first 69 and this number is not possible. NTA came out with a theory that no, we have given a grace marks because there is a delay. I have seen, my lord, the video of the principal of this Hardayal school, which says, and it is openable even now, which says that there was no delay in this center. In fact, we distributed Canara Bank paper when it was already half an hour.
The correct set was to be the SBI paper.
Correct. That's right. That's right.
Everywhere.
And they declared,
No,
entire country.
It's not everywhere.
Entire country, my lord.
Entire country was SBI. Yes, your lordship said.
Of course, different configurations, as Brother Mishra said, because the questions will be jumbled up.
Even in the one classroom,
Yeah, obviously.
in
That
one classroom also,
sitting next to each other can't know which is the order. of
which
the
is the
question.
order. One of the thing which is going on in the social media is that 2 numbers sitting with each other, both got 600 marks. How is it possible? But both would have, the system is that both sitting in front and back and both sitting on the sides, they have different
They
numbers.
not have the same order of questions.
They don't have. My question number 1 would be his question number
Do
18.
that in the judicial.
So we can't even do that. Orthodox way of cheating also is not
Let me
possible.
place the hard facts, my lord, how they have done it. So Hardayal school, admittedly, they distributed Canara Bank. The Canara Bank question paper was attempted by all the about 500 people in the
For
center.
how long?
For till 5:20 is the last time.
Oh.
There's no delay. The principal is on record of the school and they say,
So it's not that in the middle of the exam they
no,
substitute the SBI. paper.
look, that happened Savai Madhopur. I'll come to that. Hardayal school, Canara Bank paper was given. In the first instance, when Canara Bank paper was not to be the paper to be attempted, how come it was even given to them? What is the SOP? How meticulously they followed it, what they say is. And The principal got question paper from both the banks and both banks gave it.
Once again, Mr. Solicitor, just since little bit of query on the procedural, one set is lodged with Can Bank, one is with SBI. Now, the center in charge on the morning of the exam goes to both the banks and takes the
No,
question. Then what
The
happens?
city in charge is informed
Right.
that this is the bank from where you will have to collect the
When
papers
she inform the day of the exam.
in the morning at 7
So
o'clock.
the city in charge will inform all the centers in charge in the morning that you have to go to this particular
This
branch.
particular center.
Now, how did this chap at Jhajjar
Bahadurgarh.
go and collect it from Canara Bank when he had to, he must have been told that you have to go to the SBI to collect the paper.
No, that maybe a mistake or something. Or deliberate, but paper was,
Now, Jhajjar, we just wanted to some clarity on Jhajjar. So he collects the paper from the Canara Bank.
correct, my lords.
Students write throughout the 3 hours and 20 minutes, they write the Canara Bank sets of questions, right? Now, thereafter, what happens in Jhajjar? Everybody is given grace mark, so what happens in Jhajjar?
What they say is because they never disclose E for Canara Bank paper.
1 second, let's have clarity. We just
I'm
ask
sorry.
questions.
Yeah, my lord, my learned friend can.
Let's,
Just 1 second, 1 second. He has his instructions. Let's get the official version first. For Jhajjar,
yes, let's.
what happened exactly in Jhajjar?
It's, Jhajjar was a new center. Your lordships are aware the number of candidates have increased. As a result whereof we have to let's increase the number of centers also and city coordinators also. This place was added for the first time in 2024 as an examination center. Perhaps let's the city coordinator must not have seen the message that you have to pick it up from this place. As a result whereof this happened to be picked up from both the places.
But are the banks not informed that, look, don't release the Can Bank paper to anybody, release only the State Bank of India paper?
Let's,
Because the vault in charge has to be informed कि आपको paper surrender करना है आज, आपको distribute करना है.
authorization is given, let's.
Because the NTA would inform the city in charge.
Yes, please.
City in charge will relay the message to the center in charge.
Yes, please.
But will a message not go to the bank also that, all right, Can Bank का आपको अपने locker में ही रखना है, State Bank of India का जो paper है वो आपको distribute करना है.
It goes to the bank. We also committed. It goes to.
Definitely go to the bank also. So how did this bloke at Jhajjar, the center in charge, how did he go to Canara Bank and retrieve the Canara Bank paper?
That is a mistake on their part, let's.
It was Canara Bank's mistake.
Both minutes at both places, city coordinator.
So
as well
anyway,
as-
so the Jhajjar in charge gets the center in charge gets the Canara Bank paper.
Yes, please.
That is distributed to the candidates. And the candidates write the entire exam for 3 hours, 20 minutes on the Can Bank paper.
Lordship. And this is at 8 centers. The number of such candidates who got Canara Bank paper is 3,307. And their sequence is MNOP. And we have used the
So at Jajjar, how many, there are 8 centers,
8 centers
and everywhere they.
all over India.
All over India, not.
All over India, it has happened at 8 centers,
All over India,
all over India. Some places, it's like Chhattisgarh, your lordships came to know.
with the wrong question paper.
Yes,
was
minutes.
distributed.
Not
Both
confined to
question
Jajjar.
papers, my lord, are of the same difficulty level. It's not as if one is
So at
simpler
eight
and another.
centers- At 8 centers, the wrong booklet was distributed.
Yes, minutes.
Which was the Kanbang booklet.
Yes, minutes. Only two booklets are available, minutes. There is the third booklet.
Then what happened in Jajjar? Then the students wrote the whole of the paper for
Yes,
3 hours, 20 minutes of
Yes,
Jajjar.
because of the situation, minutes, that it could not be discovered by them that we have distributed a wrong paper. How it came to the knowledge much later, as a result whereof it was considered,
Then
More
what happened?
appropriate.
Then what happened?
How it was considered more appropriate to allow them to attempt this question paper only.
First they gave a
But one
grace mark.
second, we are just understanding what happened. So the students are allowed, they appeared for the entire examination in the.
Yes, on the basis of Canara Bank question paper.
Then,
And the difficulty level of this question, both the papers, because anyone can be distributed, are modulated by the experts to be of the same level.
now, where was the occasion to give, totally how many students at these 8 centers?
8 centers, total number of students is 3,307.
Now, initially NTA takes a decision to award grace marks to those students?
No, minutes. Only after it came to be realized that some places the loss of time was there. Only then the decision was taken.
Loss of time means what?
After realizing, when the complaints are there, students approach the honorable courts also saying that because of wrong distribution of paper, we could not avail the exact number of exact time which is available to the others.
Why? Because students had appeared for the full 3 hours, 20 minutes. It is not as if that the correct paper was circulated midway through the exam. Suppose sometimes what happens is that the incorrect paper is given. Instead of algebra, you give the English paper. By the time the algebra paper comes, half an hour has gone by. Students were never given the SBI paper at these 8 centers. They were given only the Kanbang paper.
At Jajjar, this happened. At some places, this was withdrawn and correct paper was also given. There are centers where this happened, like in Chhattisgarh.
Now, how many centers was
Just
the,
verify, my lord,
at
factual.
how many centers was the incorrect question paper withdrawn?
I am appearing for NT also. I am appearing for both.
Mr. Kaushik, at how many centers was the incorrect question paper withdrawn?
Withdrawn
The
and
correct.
correct.
Exactly, my lord, that's all. My lord, in some centers, even after realizing that instead of Canara, SBI is given or
They continue to write.
they continued to write and 3 hours, 20 minutes time allotted was given. So we are not concerned with that. In some cases,
They withdrew that.
they withdrew it halfway and said that now we are giving you another, because
How many centers did that happen?
that figure is, my lord, 1, 3.
I'll come to Savai Madhopur, my lord. That's
This
a-
is an isolation.
Consideration, my lord, still the 13th of the June, my lord, they come up with how these papers of Savai Madhopur, then stand to escalate to 1563 as per their own figure.
My lord, I'll come to all that, my lord. If they can respond to.
63 students were such that we, as per our examination, that they were, the papers were taken back halfway and they were asked to complete the new paper within that 320 minutes.
My lord, where they
Since
attempted
that could
only
not
Canara
happen.
Bank. My lord, halfway, this is a different story. My lord, halfway is a different story. First is the Canara Bank.
At 8 centers, we found that wrong booklet was distributed. Now, at all these 8 centers, the students complete the examination only in the Canara Bank booklet.
Yes, how many?
Canara Bank only, minutes.
We'll
8
give out the
centers.
list.
8 centers, right?
This we will further bifurcate.
Now, tell us, how many centers apart from these 8 was the wrong booklet withdrawn and the correct
Yes,
booklet given to the
we
students?
will give the correct number of that also.
Yeah, just ask.
We'll bifurcate, yes, minutes.
Just you can sit down and ask, no problem.
But if in the meantime, I can.
Just 1 second, let them, we'll also have a little break for 10 seconds.
कुछ निकल रहा है।
In Jhajjar, well, I received the instructions. Well, Jhajjar has 3 centers.
Yes.
In one, the entire Canara paper was attempted and nobody disturbed the students thereafter. In remaining 2, realizing the mistake, paper was taken back halfway and new paper was given. And therefore, they said that we did not get sufficient time, which was true.
Right. Now, why were the grace marks added then?
Initially, my lord, it was decided, which according to me, my lord, was not a very correct decision, that there is some judgment of your lordships in case of a
That's that.
Nals clat, my lord, that if there is a time problem, if the time is less, time available to the student is less, then this is the methodology by which you give the grace marks. That grace marks were given. Thereafter, my lord, that decision was,
Was recalled in a retest was held.
yes, that was those who did not get the time will get a new paper and new 3 hour 20 minutes.
Now, that retest was held for 1563 students.
Yes.
Now, these 1563 students were drawn from which centers? Actually?
My lord, wherever there was a time gap.
Page 19 of
Retest is held, that really now, that really
But
doesn't survive.
There are 2-3 things into it. One,
Grace.
why grace marks to the students who attempted Canara Bank paper? Why grace marks?
So they
On
were-
4th of June, they were granted, my lord, on 4th of June, they declared only one key. That is the SBI Bank question paper key. There was no Canara Bank paper key.
Alright,
So
1 second.
how they evaluated those people without declaring a key?
Now this grace mark was given initially to whom?
Grace mark was given to the center numbers, which we have given the time number also, which is 1.
Was the grace mark given to only those who had to give, who got the SBI paper in the midstream, or what happened?
The grace marks were given only to those persons from whom the paper was initially given, which was withdrawn, and subsequently given the correct paper.
Correct.
What happened
That
to
is
this?
all. In some,
Now, what happened to those students who appeared in the wrong paper, the Can Bank paper?
their marks were given on the basis of the answer key of their sequence paper.
And they were not made to have the retest?
No, no.
Because the
It's
level of
actually
difficulty is up.
Correct. Same.
Fair enough, fair
Same.
enough. Now, so therefore, the grace marks were given only to those whose papers were withdrawn and given the
Yes,
correct, because they couldn't complete the
which
paper,
we counted as 1563.
which you counted as 1.5.
Based upon reports of city coordinators and CCTV footage.
There were 8 centers across the country where the wrong booklet was distributed.
Yes, minutes, and
Now those 8 centers includes the 3 Jhajjar?
one of them at Jhajjar.
Two of them.
No, wrong distribution is.
Two of them.
Third was
wrong
100%
distribution and
Canara.
Two at Jhajjar.
2 at Jhajjar.
Yes, minutes.
Where the wrong booklet was distributed and then recalled.
Recalled and grace mark was given to those candidates.
Now, in the 8 centers across India, the same position that the papers were withdrawn.
Even time was not sufficient and therefore grace mark.
But the
Out
number
of
is
4,750 centers, this occurred, my lord, in 8 centers.
Oh, I see.
4,750 are the total number of centers throughout the country.
So 8, it happened that the wrong booklet was.
It's the wrong booklet, my lord. Whenever, for example, Jhajjar, out of 3, 1, they completed. They were not,
They have not been given a retake, they are being
Yes.
graded. So 1.
they are evaluated based on their answers, my lord.
It's factually incorrect. Let me clarify it. My learned senior colleague gave 3,300 are the total student where the wrong booklet was given, withdrawn midway.
No.
And
Allowed to continue 3,000.
yes,
Minutes, they are
3,307.
3,000 were allowed to continue. 3,300
They were allowed-
wrong paper. They attempted the wrong question paper.
Okay.
150. Yes.
Now, my lord, the next question comes is, on 4th of June, when they declared the result, on their website, they declared only one key. One key means only
SBI.
SBI. They didn't declare any other key. How they evaluated Canara Bank questions which was attempted and where is the separate result they declared for this 3,000 people who attempted Canara Bank paper?
Must have had a key for Canada Bank also.
There is no key declared by them, my lord, till today. Let them show it today now.
Today.
No, not my lord. 1, 2.
All right. Now I'll tell you what. This is all okay. Now show us the data. Let's go into the heart.
Let me complete. my lord. Now, in this Sardar school, where originally there were 8 people who came,
At the end of it, assuming that some
Lord,
problem happened.
data
that
is
there
a
is something
circumstantial evidence.
We are looking at the entire country now. Show us the data.
Lord,
I mean, that's the heart of the matter.
Lord, just allow me 2 minutes, Lord, because this,
You said 2 minutes, 11:25. We are not.
in the meantime, they start, Lord. Let me just quickly complete it. I was dealing with Hardyal school, Lord. Allow me to just to complete 2-3 centers and then I'll straight away come to the data. Hardyal school, 500 students, they attempted Canara Bank paper. Just notice in Lord and let them respond at the end.
All right, we'll just Hardyal School.
500
Judger, no?
That's right, Bahadurgarh Jhajjar.
Yes.
Canara Bank paper, no Canara Bank paper key available till date. After re-examination, all the students were taken in the re-examination. Though there was no delay, admittedly, in distributing question paper.
So all the students at this Hardyal
Hardyal
school
school-
have been required to do a re-examination.
And in the re-examination, about 50% of them appeared, 50% of them did not appear.
That's also very spooky. Why do 50% not appear?
That's right. Only 813 out of 1,563 in total appeared in the re-examination. That's also data.
The person who didn't appear got their original marks, opted to retain their original marks. That is the.
Now these 1563 are drawn from how many centers?
Lord, this they have not disclosed. They never disclose it, how many centers. They will answer it.
8 centers.
8
Throughout. And as my learned friend rightly pointed out, they were given an option to retain the earlier marks.
And
They
all
didn't
is,
take a
Lord,
chance. That
and
was-
all is being done behind the curtain. Nothing was declared. Every day they have been giving press release, but with regard to this, there is not a single press release.
things which, if you can ask, if you can just make a note of these 4 points, Mr. Solicitor and Mr. Kaushik.
Yes.
One, how many centers, at how many centers were the Canara Bank papers distributed?
Yes.
At how many centers totally were Canara Bank question booklets distributed? 2, out of those centers, at how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced?
Yes, miss.
At how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced, namely of the State Bank of India?
Yes, miss.
Third, how many centers totally where the questions which were evaluated were the Canara Bank paper, the Canara Bank booklets?
Yes.
Whether there were any centers which were evaluated on the basis of the Canara Bank booklet.
Yes.
All right?
How paper was evaluated?
The paper was evaluated. And fourth, once the Canara Bank papers were evaluated, how did the candidates fare there?
Where is the key which they have ever declared till date? Canara Bank.
Why
paper.
have you not declared the key of the Canara Bank papers?
Yes, miss.
Fifth,
Yes, miss.
and finally, I want to know this, that before I formulate the question, suppose you and I go to Canara Bank or to State Bank of India and say, give me the question paper. You will not be given the question paper, right?
Correct.
How does Can Bank know that I'm the right person who is authorized to? So there has to be a letter of authorization,
Correct.
It's identity.
right?
Yes.
Now, who issues the letter of authorization?
Yes, miss.
Letter of authorization is issued by the district in charge.
NT.
Director General NT.
Director General of NTA.
NTA to the city superintendent as well as centers coordinators.
Now, what does a person take to the bank? Suppose I'm the center in charge.
Yes.
Will I have an authorization both for SBI and for Can Bank, or I'll have only one authorization?
Yes.
Just ask that.
Yes, miss.
City coordinator is authorized. I'm sorry. Only city coordinator is authorized, not centers. He
So the
distributes.
city
to-
coordinator is authorized to go to one of the two banks.
Yes, correct.
Now, therefore, that authorization is given to the city coordinator when? When is that given to him?
In advance. Must be-
But is the authorization given for both the banks or only one bank?
I think should be for
Just
both
ask
banks
this line.
logically. For both the banks. Any, from which bank? It is given, authorization is given 3 days prior to the exam
For both the banks.
for both the banks. Then
The
he is
city
informed-
coordinator.
He is informed in the morning that you go to one of these banks and collect.
5 o'clock.
Now, if the city coordinator, suppose city coordinator was told on the morning of the 5th that you have to go to SBI, right? Now, that city coordinator would have all the centers in that city will be under his control, right? Now, did the city coordinator in this case at Jhajjar go to the Can Bank and get Can Bank papers which were then distributed to all the centers in his jurisdiction, or some centers got SBI and some centers got
That will have to be.
He collected both.
Actually, will correct.
He collected both. Malad.
he collected both.
He collected both.
How did the how did the city coordinator collect both? I mean, city coordinator at Jhajjar, he should have gone only to SBI,
Only one bank, please.
right?
Yes, miss.
Now, he went to Can Bank and he went to SBI both.
Both.
Now, all the centers under him, Did he distribute the Canbank question paper?
Let's one center Canbank paper was was distributed, which was allowed to be continued. Two centers, the question paper was distributed Canbank, but it was withdrawn and SBI was given, that resulting in loss of time.
All Ken banks distributed, two of them realized the mistake,
And
withdrew
Who
Ken bank
realized the mistake?
yes,
out of the center coordinator.
No, but the center coordinator will,
Would not normally, no, we'll take
center
the.
superintendents are different. City coordinator is for all the three centers.
right. So at Jhajjar, there were 3 centers,
Yes, let's.
right? So he distributed the Canbank paper to all 3?
All three initially. And let's in from 2, it was withdrawn and correct question paper was
But
distributed.
then why did he not withdraw it from 1?
That we'll have to, let's ask.
If he realized that he has made a mistake, he would have gone to all the 3 centers and said, look, I better give you the correct center. Why did
Time lapse may be the only reason. It was realized at the other center. By that time, maybe the time gap had gone beyond the reasonable time.
take instructions on that?
Assumptions.
Yes, yes. We will take specific instructions. We'll prepare a note on all these 6 questions, minutes, and
You're right. Authorization will be given in advance. You can't give authorization in the morning. Then he's informed how? He's informed on his phone.
on what the minutes app, which is created for the purpose of
And
coordination.
who informs him?
There is an
The
NTA app.
Director General NTA will inform everyone across the country.
Yes, through the specific app created for this purpose of
That will be informed at 8 o'clock or so in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock.
There is an
And he
application.
was informed, go to the SBI.
Yes, please.
He went to both.
Yes.
But is Canbank not informed that, look, your paper now don't distribute? Director General NTA would be informing the Canbank that, look, your paper is not to be distributed. And he would inform SBI that only your paper is to be distributed, right?
Message goes to both the custodian as well as the city coordinator.
Then how did
Where the
Canbank
lapse has
distribute? Then
taken-
how did Canbank
Yes.
distribute it?
Where the lapse has taken place, we'll find out minutes and.
There appears to be a lapse.
Right.
Yes, that lapse is there.
Lord, there is another blunder. Hardyal School, in the first instance, despite the Canara Bank paper was given, allowed to be attempted, they gave grace marks to the students who appeared in the Hardyal School. And because of grace marks, 2 of the 8 students who came in the first
So,
topper.
Hardyal School, where the Canbank paper was distributed,
Yes.
students were given grace.
They gave grace marks.
Why?
And the evidence of grace marks is, out of the 2 students in the first 8 from the Hardyal School, they got 718 and 719 marks. When we questioned that how come anybody get this marks, they say it is because of grace marks. Otherwise, it's not possible.
So grace marks were given in Hardyal School.
Even for Hardyal School, because on 4th of June, there was only 1 key.
So grace marks were given totally for 1563 students, right?
That's right. For all students, Lord, I believe.
No, not schools.
Thereafter, all these students were put in a re-examination. How, if Canara Bank paper was given and it was to be evaluated, where is the question of first giving them grace marks and then withdrawing the grace marks and putting them to again a retest?
It was a mistake which was corrected and retest. Now
Lord,
it's
how they give a
let's
grace
argue
marks to
for
Canara
retest
Bank
of the entire country
students?
based
Let
on
them answer
two
that.
instances.
Why did you give grace marks to the Canara Bank students?
No, it was not given to the.
Whenever they were,
One second.
whenever Canara
Who
paper
got
was,
the grace mark? Which body of students got the grace marks?
wherever Canara Bank's paper, the wrong paper, I'll use it, wrong paper, was initially given, taken back, and a new paper was given,
Grace marks.
resulting into the time not being available, grace marks were given.
So, do we understand you right? That grace marks were not given to those students who had appeared for the Canara Bank booklet, but who had completed the entire booklet.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
They were not given.
No, not.
So grace marks were given to only those students to whom a wrong booklet was given and it was withdrawn. Is
Yes.
that right? Is that clarity?
Yes, yes.
Lord, I will falsify the stand just now. Their response to my note at page 19, they have reproduced a table where grace marks have been given. In that table, the center 230701 Haryana Jhajjar Hardyal School, they say their grace marks have been given. Please check it. This is what they have filed before this honorable court.
And 287.
Well,
Also.
And 287.
Hardyal school is a situation where the students attempted only the can bank paper.
Correct. And they,
But did any student at Hardyal school get grace marks?
they got a grace marks. So this is how they have conducted.
1 second. Mr. Kaushik,
Yes, please.
did students at Hardyal school also get grace marks?
This is what it is.
I'll take specific clarification.
Just find out.
It's a systemic failure.
Rework कैसे किया उसको?
Given only for Hardyal school, not the other two schools. Let them.
For the reason, I'll clarify.
Only in Hardyal school grace marks.
Grace marks were given where?
Grace marks were given only to Hardyal school.
Yes.
Just it's not, they are trying to misrepresent facts without knowing the clear picture.
That's why we are absolutely with an open mind. We want you to disclose. I mean,
Yes,
that's.
Which I am instructed to say suffered loss of time despite the fact that they attempted Canara Bank question paper.
Why don't you do this in the afternoon? Just give us on a piece of paper the correct position and
Yes.
give them a copy so we understand
Correct.
where we stand.
I'll
So we are
prepare
not
a
just
note.
taking down
Let-
something they are saying, something they are
Yes,
saying. We
Let
don't
them,
want to- we
let
don't
them
want-
correctly
I'll-
understand it.
1 second. Then let him say, let him say,
Yes,
clarify.
a neat
But you
note.
put it down on one sheet of paper by the
Yeah,
afternoon, so
yes.
we'll then take it as a statement.
Correct.
Because then I don't want later on,
No, no.
applications that you record it
ma'am.
wrongly.
There may be in the haste, there may be some confusion because they are jumping on.
So Hardyal school grace marks were given.
Yes, the other
Grace marks were given only in Hardyal school? or-
only in Hardyal Because I am told the reason is that in the other schools, grace period, that is time of loss, was compensated by the center itself. Extra time was given to them, as a result whereof they did not suffer any loss of time.
No, but tell us something. In
Individual
Hardyal
situations-
school, the paper was replaced with the correct paper later on?
I am told that both the papers happened to be given. After the confusion, the SBI paper was withdrawn and Canara Bank paper was allowed to be continued.
That's a fact.
In Hardyal school?
Yes, that is
So
what
that means in Hardyal school, all students wrote the Can Bank paper. right?
Can
Be firm, put
Yes.
it on a piece of paper
Yes,
so that
we
there is a
On a
responsibility.
piece of paper.
Not just
We will.
to,
Yes.
just to,
And
Malad,
all students wrote the Can Bank paper at Hardyal school. Why were they given grace marks?
What we will do is, we will prepare the city-wise where this happened and center-wise. Why the different
Give
treatment?
it to us in the
Yeah,
afternoon. We
we
will
will do.
understand.
Yes, we
only one thing, Malad, just to put
were papers replaced and under whose orders were the papers continued?
Yes.
Was NTA monitoring this from Delhi or what happened?
It is monitored from Delhi millets, and millets communication did
So
not,
did Delhi get to know in the morning that, look, the wrong paper has been disputed at these
what
ends?
time it came to the knowledge and how, what time the communication,
Tell us.
because millets, large number of centers.
Right. Tell us in the
Eight,
after.
not large number.
Now, Mr. Huda, you have to wrap up. fast.
But in fact, I'm not allowed to proceed by the other side.
Lord, only one thing,
I
Manoj,
was
just
on
to put
Hardayal
things
School.
in
There are
perspective.
20 questions on Hardayal School itself.
Manoj,
They have
only-
made 4
only a
statements with
minute,
regard.
only a
Let
minute.
let me show. Manoj,
Only
just
a minute. Lord, my learned friend is arguing that the entire country's examination is vitiated and
Correct.
therefore there should be a retest. My Lord, giving examples of some mistakes
No,
here or
that's a
there
systemic failure, my
out
lord.
of 4,570 may not, my Lord, serve his purpose of assisting them.
I'm saying there is a systemic failure, and I'm sequentially demonstrate that how the system
come out
was so
from Jhajjar
brittle
yet. You
and
come out
fragile,
Jhajjar,
and
then
which
Haryana,
was
then go to
tweaked
India.
at the whims and fancies of these invigilators and city center operators who are private individuals, got nothing to do with the government. With regard to Jhajjar, I'm just closing Jhajjar. I want to say, in the first response, they said Hardayal School Canara paper was given. They attempted Canara paper. They evaluated Canara paper. No grace marks were given. This is their stand just now. They have changed it right now. With regard to the other 2 centers, they say there was a loss of time, and that is why grace marks were given. Just now they said it. Now they have again said it with regard to those 2 centers. No grace marks were given. Extra time was given then and there. Who took the decision? My lords have rightly asked the question. Now, with regard to Hardayal School, just to fact I want to bring to my lord's notice, a student who got 719 marks in Hardayal School with grace marks, they were given re-examination along with this 1563. The same student had, earlier the rank was 68 with 719 marks out of 720. Now the rank is 58,413. With regard to the student who got 718 in the same Hardayal school, where the rank was 69, after re-examination, the rank is 38,497. Now they do not know whether Canara Bank was given or initially SBI was given. On 4th of June, they declare one result, that is SBI result. There is no separate key. They did not even disclose on 4th of June that there was loss of time. And that loss of time we have compensated with grace marks. This they had to come out with only when they were confronted with 719 marks and 718 marks, because this is not numerically possible with the number of marks and negative marking. Then they said, now in the entire country, what they do is, this NTA has collected about 400 crore rupees from the students. Thereafter, I give example of Seeker now, which is data-wise very important. Seeker has 49 centers in all. Out of 49 center, only one center is this Kendriya Vidyalaya. Rest 48 centers are, my lord, all private school, self-financed private schools. All their city coordinator, invigilators, superintendent are all private individuals whom NTA issue checks of 2,000 rupees a day or 2,500 or 1,500 rupees. Now, because this honorable court is kind enough to allow me to argue this case, because so many people have come to assist me. They've shown me photographs of the school, private school in a village where this exam is being conducted. It doesn't even have a boundary wall. Now, I have not gone through their entire process. I will not call it as a SOP. Now, that indicates that at 5:20, the paper is collected by the invigilator. And the OMR sheet is taken. OMR sheet is taken. Now, what is the time when this OMR sheet is to be sealed? It's nowhere prescribed. It remains in the center. We have spoken even to the center vigilators. Either 2-3 hours, it keep lying in every center with the center superintendent. And then they have to deposit it somewhere where all the OMR sheets are collected. Like for seeker, there is one place where OMR sheets are ultimately collected in one center. There is no procedure NTA prescribed that 5:20 this OMR sheet is collected, then 5:30 it should be sealed in the presence of the students. Because they have trained these invigilators across the country.
Then what time do they get deposited with the centralized deposit?
There is no time given, my lord. Let them file a specific affidavit if they have ever in black and white.
How soon after the examination concludes at 5:30?
Blood, it is
the sealing process taking place?
Blood, they say that it is 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Ultimately, it gets deposited with the city center.
But before
What
that,
time
when
is
does
the
sealing takes place?
Blood, this I could not find in their entire SOP. I have placed it before the
Right,
solver.
that's the point.
So, blood, I would say, I will show the data.
Now, Mr. Huda, please go to
Blood,
the data.
I'm coming to the data, blood.
Please come to it.
Yes. Now, blood, after analyzing the data, what we find, there are certain centers